Hello everybody, my name is Robbie Durant, your host, and welcome to the second episode of the RDR Show. Yes, please. My show where I can say what I want, when I want, and about what I want, and who gives a shit.
The RDR Show with Robbie Durant.
Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the incredible support so far. The messages, calls, and well wishes are most appreciated. And those who missed out, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. But let's hook up as the RDR Show, one word on YouTube. Coming up on the show today, we've got the news covering local and international news, our celebrity interview with the ex-Springbok Sharks coach and the Sala legend, Mr. Ian Macintosh. The MNet Survivor South Africa. It's the Return of the Outcasts is currently on, and I'm chatting to the series director, Roux. Can't wait for that. Part of the MNet segment, we will continue weekly interviews with Outcasts of the 9th season starting next week. Exciting stuff for those super fans. What else have we got? We've got the sports wrap coming up, the video of the week, and let's not forget our talent search. This is exciting stuff, guys. This is a massive opportunity for aspiring musicians, rappers, DJs, comedians, dancers. You can submit your video, and you may just make it onto this show on the RDR Show. This week, I've got a very special guest performing by Angie Grobelaar. Right now, let's check out the RDR news. Let's check out your local news first in South Africa. Our good friend Julius Malema is back in the spotlight this week for all the wrong reasons. Malema has come out strongly and warned South Africa of impending violence because the poor are getting poorer. He's indicated there would be an Arab Spring with white people targeted and demands immediate intervention by ruling ANC to improve the living conditions. I want to remind Mr. Malema, there is an act in place since 1998 that incitement to genocide is forbidden by Article 25.3e of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Bear in mind, this is the same man who jaws like a rock star with Europeans and mixed races, wears the most expensive European clothing, and let me tell you, Ms. Lemmer, your clothes are cool, and the aftershave, which smells damn cool as well. He is also a man who enjoys a bit of Steve Hofmeyer music as well. The question I have is how we can be blamed for the current situation. I'm asking for a friend. We have some really clever builders in the UK who are really doing very well in the building industry and looking at renewed energy building wells. Check this out.
How's it going, lads?
Yep, all finished, boss.
Deepest well we've ever dug. What's the light at the bottom?
Well, we followed the plans.
Yeah, we did just what he said. You're supposed to be building a lighthouse.
And somewhere in the UK, this little girl set the record straight with her neighbor. This is a goodie.
Hello, Laura, love. What are you doing there, then?
I'm burying my goldfish.
Oh, dear, what a shame. Silly, it's only a goldfish, I suppose, isn't it? But why are you digging such a big hole, you silly thing?
Because it's inside your cat.
And somewhere in Africa, men will be boys, but not when you are about 50 years old.
Stupid rules. You can't drink and drive. What the fuck is the cup holder for? That's entrapment. If you can't drink and drive, why is there a parking lot at the liquor store? How the fuck do you think I got here, on horseback?
One thing I do know is that South Africa is a beautiful country with all types of sizes, shapes, colors of people. Let's work together, Mr. Malema, for the good of our children and follow Madiba's example of forgiveness and change. Don't ever let anyone get you down. Don't ever judge a book by its cover. And most of all, just enjoy. call our celebrity segment, I'm very privileged to be speaking to one of the greatest mentors in world rugby, Mr. Ian Macintosh. Mr. Mac, originally from Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, served as head coach of the Springboks 1993 and 94. He coached the Natal team late 80s and early 90s. Who remembers that, when they won the Currie Cup in 1990? He's a 4-time Currie Cup winning coach. He is part of that incredible organization called South African Rugby Legends Association. I've just got to say personally, he's probably my most respected coach, mentor, damn good man in world rugby. Mr. Mac, welcome to the RDR Show.
Hey, Robbie, that's a great... Where can I send you the beers, master?
Mr. Mac, I've just got to say, I am totally privileged to have you. I've always looked up to you, but I think as progressed over the last 5-6 years, we've spent a bit more time together. And just the respect that you ooze from everybody is incredible.
Thank you for those kind words. And you know what it is? You just stay in where they want you. If they don't want you, you go. But it's been a great journey.
Mr. Mac, let's start your early days. Coming from Zimbabwe, you had an incredible run with Zimbabwe Rugby in the Currie Cup. Give us a little bit about your older days.
Yeah, I was born in a place called Kwekwe, and then I went to school in Bulawayo, and to a school called then Bulawayo Technical School, now Gifford. And I went back after I qualified as a teacher. I went overseas to specialize in physical education, and ended up teaching at my old school. And basically, that's where I cut my teeth on coaching. I coached the first team there, and then what happened? My career came to an end, and we don't have reconstruction needs like they do today. It was a big blow to me, because my one dream was to play for Rhodesia, and I thought I was playing for Matabeleland local province, and I thought the year that I had a chance of probably making it, that my first knee went. So after that, the obvious thing was, after being a teacher, was to coach my club, which was Queen's Club in Bulawayo. And again, that's where from schoolboy rugby to club, and then coaching Matabeleland, and eventually coaching Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, which I coached for 6 years. And we had the privilege in 73, long time ago, that we played in the semi-final of the Currie Cup. And in those days, it was still the 6-on-6, so it was a good achievement for Rhodesia.
It was tough stuff. You've won 4 Currie Cups as a coach. Was the centenary one of 1990 for Natal your pinnacle?
Yeah, that's got to be that, Robbie, because they always say the first in everything is the deepest and the most. But we were just talking. We had a function on Saturday with Craig Jamison and Joel Stansky, and we're just talking. Joel went on to win the World Cup, but for us in Natal, that was life changing for all of us, really, especially myself. And having come down to South Africa and been in Natal, you don't really feel accepted for a while, and to me, that gave my acceptance into Natal rugby, and it did a lot for it. But it brought a bond between us of that 90 side, and we're actually having a reunion from the week ending the 25th, the test against Argentina. That week, they're all coming together for a reunion. We'll be together for a week. So, lekker. Yeah, it was a great moment in our life.
Well, there's no beers going to be drunk there, Mr. Mac. No beers. It's going to be an awesome one. You had a run as Springbok coach in 93, 94. How difficult is it to coach the Springbok side and the pressures that come with it?
Yeah, it is difficult. And let me tell you first, although it was 93 and 94, it was actually 1 year, because I went in on default because Gerry Sonicus was appointed coach, and I don't know what happened, but he stood down, and then they made me the coach of the A team, and I think they had an option to make me the Springbok coach. And I think, in all due respects, a lot of people didn't want that. Not a Springbok, not Afrikaans speaking, never played for the Springboks. It's and coming from Rhodesia, but anyway, from the day on, there was things. But Rob, what I want to say, the hard part about it is, I don't believe in 1 year you can get a team right, for 2 reasons. One, selection. It's terribly hard to get your selection right when you pick it from the whole country. But as you work with him, you know there's going to be changes. And also, I tried to introduce to the Springboks the direct rugby with a lot of people are playing today, which actually enhanced the Sharks rugby in the 90s. And I had a few players that sort of didn't believe in it at the time. So from those 2 points, it was a struggle. And then the second last game in New Zealand against Canterbury, spoke to the players and I said, listen, guys, if you're not going to play the way we practicing and do that, I don't mind getting fired my way, but I'm not going to get fired your way. So if you don't do this last game, then I'm afraid there's going to be some I'm going to pull guys off the field and put guys on and want to play that way because, well, you couldn't in those days. I said, I'd rather play. And anyway, cut a long story short, we enacted our game, what I thought for the close, not 100, to the first time, and we beat Canterbury well. And as you know, in the last test against New Zealand, we scored 2 tries to their 0. And unfortunately, Shane Howard, who I ended up coaching at Newport, he put up those 6 penalties for a draw. So I really thought we were on the way, but unfortunately, dear Dr. Louis Late gave me the DCM, don't come Monday, and that was the end of that.
Mr. Mac,
I would have loved. Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you could have carried that on into 1995 with that squad that you were building up. I mean, you were building up incredible guys in 94. Do you think you could have pulled off that win as well for the World Cup?
So when we had the meeting that evening, I told the last meeting, Louis Late actually fired me that in New Zealand. And I said to the guys, you all know I'm going. I think in a way I'd lost some of the players because, you know, the Transvaal guys in those days were a team and had won the Currie Cup and everything. And I think they really wanted to play their way. Anyway, I said to them, you guys have turned the corner after that last test and you will win the World Cup next year. I believed, yes, we played a kicking game and the chaos we had at home, but I still believe that we could have enacted more of a running game and we could have won that game, I believe, as well. But having said that, full marks to Kitch. He took over, new voice, he had his way. As you know, he got them incredibly fit with Ray Mort as the fitness coach, and we won the the World Cup, which was great and probably a good thing that a new voice came in and got the players to play the way they wanted to play.
Well, I certainly agree with you that you can't get a team operating in 1 year. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years sometimes. Mr. Mack, you're ticking at 82 years old. You're still kicking big boulders for South African rugby legends. I see you
82,
carrying...
I'm turning 84 next month.
84. Oh, Mr. Mack. Apologies. 84. So you're ticking on 84 years and still very involved with SALA, South African Rugby Legends Association. I see you kicking the boulders, carrying bags, distributing meals nationwide. What is keeping you going?
Everybody's talking about it. It's been with the actor, don't let the old man in. But I've never thought of stopping, actually. Just keep going. But I've also made it quite clear they must let me know when I have to stop. I don't want to make a fool of myself. But the Legends has been a wonderful after rugby for me. Another life in rugby. Started 21 years ago with John Allen, as you know, and Gavin Verigis. And it was a concept of taking ex-players back to the outlying people in South Africa and all over, and we played games. We played everybody in the world, actually. And of course, with COVID, that came to a bit of an end. So we had to think out the box, like food distribution, things like that. But it's come back. We had a game last week against the Dolphins in Belito, and next week we're going to Muir College for the 120th celebrations, and Legends will be playing their old age. So it's all coming back. But the bottom line is, it gave me another life in rugby, which has been fantastic, and probably that's why I've kept young.
Well, it was quite funny when you said you don't sleep anymore because you want to make sure that you wake up in the morning. So absolutely love that.
These days, I don't worry about going to sleep. I worry about waking up.
Oh, Mr. Mack, you're an absolute legend. You've been called the godfather of Sharks rugby. As far as even the entry gates are being named after you. I mean, that's an incredible status to have from the Sharks.
Yeah, it is, because you must understand something, the tremendous respect I had what went before me in Natal rugby, and namely Isak van Heerden, who was a coach long before his time, and he helped me a lot when in the early days when I brought a side down from Rhodesia to play here, my club side, and I spent time with him, and also the people that made Natal, like the Keith Oxleys, the Trick Struters, you name them, all those guys, and I never lost sight of that. So when they did that for me at Kings Park, it was a tremendous honor have such respect for what went before me. So yes, it was a great honor.
Well, it's certainly going to be lived on for generations and generations. Mr. Mac, the current Springboks, are we getting it right? Are we playing the right games, plan and strategy? All Blacks coming down for hurting after the island loss. What are we going to expect?
Well, first of all, I think, as you know, a lot of people don't really like the style we play, and the world doesn't recognize it, but it's a winning style. And it's very simple. Russie and them have got their act together in that they're using the laws, in that you can now milk a penalty at a scrum. From the penalty, you're going to the line out. From the line out, you get another penalty. And to me, it's a horrible indictment in rugby. Like Affie's played Mansfield College the other day, and the young hooker is the leading try scorer, 17 tries in the season.
Wow.
But Bongi's, I think, got 12. Now, they're scoring more tries than the wings because the laws are... So while people might be pointing fingers at the Boks, they're using the laws to how they should be used. So it's the laws that are making us play the way, not necessarily the coaching. In fact, it's astute coaching. We don't like it. I think we can use our backs a lot more. But having said that, they've won the World Cup. But I just wished we'd bring the backs more into fruition, into play. But let me tell you something. Our game is simple. Everybody knows it. Try and stop it.
Yeah.
With the forwards we got. And that's going to be the big thing. I've already been seeing they brought in the coach from Crusaders as the scrum coach and the forwards coach. It's a simple thing about Saturday. If they don't stop our scrumming and they don't stop and they don't stop our driving maul, they cannot beat us, and no side will. It's a tremendous thing to play against. I remember coaching way back against Northern Transvaal and also when they became the Bulls, that it's the same thing. Big pack of fours, a nice water behind there, kicking you back all the time, picking into the corners. It's a very hard, and the only way you can overcome that, you've got to overcome their forwards. So it's quite simple. If on Saturday the All Blacks cannot match our forwards, I can promise you they won't win.
Yeah, they're going to be bleeding from the Island series loss.
Yeah.
So we're going to see them coming out firing.
They're going to be, absolutely, Rob, they're going to be motivated. All Black sides always motivated. But as Sam Whitelock was saying, I was listening to this morning, it doesn't matter if they've lost, drawn, or what. It's still an All Blacks jersey, like we say, it's a Springbok jersey, and they'll be coming for us for sure. And as you heard Malherbe say, there's never a weak All Black pack, but they will have to dominate us and stop our mauls. Otherwise, they can't stop our style.
Well, we know a wounded Springbok is just as bad as a wounded All Black. They're going to be coming out firing. You've left an incredible legacy, Mr. Mac. Besides rugby, what else do you do in your spare time, or was it just rugby?
Well, no, it's the
It's just rugby.
Last year I was very busy because Stefan de Blanc, I'm going on the functions, but I play a lot of golf. And on the field, on the course, I play a lot of golf as well. So I play 2-3 times a week. But yeah, I enjoy it. And then, of course, I've got a couple of properties that always keep me busy to sort out and whatever.
Well, Mr. Mac,
life is good.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you've had an incredible life, and I think to finish it off with continuing with rugby, you're an incredible servant. Mr. Mac, I've got a couple of spitfire questions. If you can just answer them, one or the other, and you don't have. You just say which one you want, and we go for it. We're going to kickstart.
Okay.
Braai or Potjie?
Yes. Braai.
Sharks or the Springboks?
Oh, hard one. Sharks. And Springboks.
Yo, Mr. Mac.
Sharks, my home.
Remember, you're the godfather of the Sharks. There's no way you can go any other way.
No, exactly.
Tequila or Jägermeister, Mr. Mac? Tequila or Jägermeister?
Jägermeister.
Now you're on the spot. Favorite stadium in the world?
Favorite stadium in the world? Gee, whiskers.
That's a tough one.
Sentimentally, it's a tough one. I say that Ellis Park, full, is a granddaddy. And then Millennium in Cardiff.
Oh,
Millennium because of the singing.
I was going to say the singing in Cardiff. You actually gave me goosebumps. I didn't even hear the music.
Unbelievable.
The shower. Do you shower or you bath?
Shower.
Forwards or backs,
Can't
Mr.
get
Mac?
in and out of bath anymore.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot. Forwards or backs? Who's your favorites?
Forwards or backs?
Yes.
Oh, that's a hard one. I always used to enjoy coaching the backs.
The backs.
We're
not friends anymore, Mr. Mac.
We're
We're not friends anymore.
Forwards, you just got to drill in. Backs are intelligent.
That's true. We won't dispute that. Your favorite beer in the world?
Castle.
Now
Castle Light. I worked with the Brews for a long time in Rhodesia.
And your favorite forward coached of all time? I know that's a very big question, but who is the one person that just kind of blew you away?
I'm going to tell you something that you won't believe it. Skunk Nicholson, the late Skunk Nicholson from Marisburg College.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I've rubbed shoulders with a lot of top coaches, but he was just incredible the way he got people to scrum.
And your favorite?
Tom Lawton was the one who taught me the most about scrumming.
Okay, and then your favorite back coached of all time?
Oh, it's hard to say.
But you favor the backs. So.
Well, there's Andre Jabir, probably the most exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Macintosh, it's been an absolute privilege and an honor to speak to you again, and wishing you all the best as you continue to inspire me and so many others around you. As I said, you ooze that respect, and thank you again for your services and contributions to rugby. I just want to say thank you very much for your time being here on the RDR Show.
Hey, Robbie, it's an absolute pleasure. It's kind of you to say all those things, but I also want to just wish you luck in your new station. What do you call it? Your radio? What do you call it now?
It's my own TV show right now.
Right. And good luck with it, Robbie. You deserve it, Master, and well done.
Mr. Mac, thank you very much, and appreciate it. Stay safe, and we'll catch up with you soon.
On Monday, 18 July, 20 former Survivor outcasts will reignite their flames in the world's greatest game. With 4 episodes a week, filmed on the Sunshine Coast. Survivor SA return on the Outcasts. Now 4 episodes a week. Trailer and cast coming soon.
Survivor South Africa, proudly sponsored by Lotto Star.
Right, I want to welcome series director Roux to the RDR Show, the man behind Survivor South Africa. Roux, hello.
Hey, Robbie, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Roux, we've seen jaw-dropping twists, drama, unexpected eliminations. It's only damn week 3.
Yes, there is still a lot to come with this season, and the drama doesn't stop for week 4, 5, and 6 yet. So it's good. It's a very exciting season, and we're very, very happy with how it's going.
Yeah, you've done an incredible job. This season seems to be one of the toughest for malnutrition. Activities are bone-breaking, very tough physically. Have you got a heart?
I do, but you have to understand that we up the ante. All of these players have played before, and they are playing for 2 million rand. So we had to make it super difficult and make it really hard for them. I think it is it'll possibly go down as one of the toughest seasons of definitely Survivor South Africa, but one of the toughest seasons of Survivor worldwide as well. But that was intentional.
Well, I was asking if you've got a heart. I know you do. So, season filmed in the beautiful Fish River. That's just down the road where we are in the Eastern Cape. What made you return to Eastern Cape?
When we got the green light from MNet, we were looking at different options and not to go back to the Wild Coast because the audience have seen it. But we had to stay within the borders of South Africa. So there was quite a lot of considerations going into, and we paired up with the ECDC in season 8, the Eastern Cape Development Corporation. And they've been really helpful in terms of helping us in with locations and with workers in the area and so forth. So that relationship was also part of it. I actually have a personal kind of attachment to the Sunshine Coast. My mom lives in a small town called Kenton-on-Sea, about 40 kilometers from the Fish River. And so I kind of grew up in that area as a kid, going there on holidays. And I remember how I used to take my gran to the Fish River Sun as a teenager. I used to drive her there. She put me behind the steering wheel, she could back then, and then I'd take her to the Fish River Sun. So the area it was very familiar to me. And when we went out to go and scout for a new location, that was one of the options that we looked at. And I'm so happy that it worked out, because I think it is so much different from season 8 and the look and feel from season 8, but also so beautiful. Those dunes they just take your breath away.
Well, also the weather was not easy as well. I think the first episode that I watched, the guys were freezing. They were trying to talk to each other, and the bottom lip or the bottom teeth were clattering.
Yeah, and the time period that we shot over January, February it gets cold. I mean, it's South Africa. The evenings do get cold. So that is also one of the reasons why we allowed them jackets this season and in season 8, because of the harsh South African nights. So most of the time, the elements have to be taken into consideration. Our medical team said to us, listen, you have to give them something warm to wear at night. Otherwise, you're going to have cases of hypothermia on your hand. So that is one of the reasons. But yeah, it was a great time for us to shoot because of summertime. And it's also in that period, there's very little rain in that area. So I think they skipped the rain, but they got a little bit of the cold, which have to give and take a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of give and take. It's Survivor Season 9. It is absolutely tough out there. How important is your medical staff? How far do you push it to say, listen, we can go a little bit further, or guys, they need jerseys or they need jackets. We've got to do this.
So we have a full medical team on board with emergency response personnel as well. We have a doctor that is on call basically 24/7. Each of the contestants get checked before and after each of the challenges. So we really do look after them before and after each tribal council. They get checked. Obviously, we dispense chronic medication, or our medical team dispense the chronic medication that is out there. So we really look after them. But like I said earlier, we did push it a little bit this season, just physically to have a little bit more tougher challenges for the contestants, because they're playing for the 2 million rand. But in over and above, we do look after the contestants. Their health and safety is of paramount importance to us.
I'm sure.
Even after the show, their mental health is also very important to us. They have access to a psychologist that they can either Zoom or go and see in person. So we really look after the contestants during and after the shoot.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. That was my next question is, has it been easier working with former Survivor SA contestants, or what have the challenges been where you're now face to face with people that have had that experience before?
Because they played before, they know what to expect. So they are aware of the cameras, where newbie players usually, it takes them a few days to kind of get used to the cameras and get used to the content producers asking them questions and confessionals and all of that type of stuff. So with these guys, they fell into it straight away. And you can also see Nico is also completely relaxed and in his element with the castaways. And it's just because of their previous experience. So for us, it was a completely different approach this time around, because there was a lot less education from our side about that the contestants can't talk to the camera people. Their only interaction will be to the content producers, which they know, and they build up that rapport with the content producers very quickly, and that's what happened this season.
How did you decide to bring back the current group of people? I mean, there's such a mixed bag of tricks here, so it's totally different. I mean, every person is different, and you've got big, small, thin, thick, whatever it is. Give us your opinions of why you did that.
So when we came up with the concept of Return of the Outcast, we were looking at at different options of bringing returning players back. And this specific idea of a pre-merge versus post-merge group has been floated around the Survivor community online and across the planet. So we basically took that idea and kind of presented it to MNet and said to them, this is one of the options. It's never been done before. It's a brand new concept. The pre-mergers versus the post-mergers, there is a built-in story for both. The pre-mergers are never made merge, and that would be their first goal. And what would they do to get to merge? The post-mergers have been there, and what would they do to get to the end? And what happens if those two mix? And so that idea was what MNet actually bought into. And then in terms of the casting, the people that we brought back, we considered quite a lot of people with this pre-merge versus post-merge. But what is great about the format is that you can now bring back someone like a Seamus who was voted out first, or a Pinty that was voted out first out of her tribe. And interesting characters that you haven't seen in a while. Someone like Kalani, who is very unknown in the Survivor community, and see what her gameplay would actually be like if she wasn't voted out on day 6. So there's a built-in narrative, which is wonderful for us. And then obviously you have to bring back a few favorites. You have to bring back someone like a Chappies who didn't make the final tribal council and was this close to getting there. And then people like Dante, who is playing a completely different game from his first season in terms of how he approaches people and the game. So all of those elements kind of played into the casting of the season.
Well, I've got to say, it's a big shout out for the first time ever that this is running as the past Outcast coming together. You've had a massive passion for this for a very long time. I saw a picture of you in your early days, the unwilling passion to succeed. Tell us a little bit about your story.
I basically watched the first episode of the US Survivor in 2001 when it was broadcast in South Africa. With my now husband and business partner, Henry Basson. Yeah. So we basically, our relationship for the past 21 years have always had Survivor in it. Wow. I then entered season 1 on a paper edit or a paper entry form, didn't get a call back. Then with season 2, I entered again, and I actually made a full cardboard cutout of myself with a sling bag, and I made a video, and I dropped the full cardboard cutout at MNet. And Henry was working at MNet at the time. So I proceeded through all the stages, got to the final 25, and then the boss of MNet at that time, Carl Fisher said to Henry, "Listen, sorry, it's a conflict of interest." So the next season came on, and I then got the opportunity to work as a content producer on the show. So from season 3 to season 5, I was a content producer, and Henry then became head of content on season 4 in the Maldives. So we've had a journey with Survivor, and then in 2018 we then produced season 6 with the Philippines with our own production company, and the rest, as they say, is history. We've been very lucky and very honored to be producing the show now for the 4th season in a row. So very exciting.
Yeah, you've written the history books. Henry and yourself being incredible. Afrikaans, tell me a little bit about this gem of a company.
So Afrikaans was started in 2006 when Henry left MNet. It started off as a small marketing and publicity company, and then we grew from there into what we are today. We are a wildly creative, passionate production company based in Cape Town. We are responsible for obviously Survivor, but we also did Temptation Island for Mzansi Magic and Showmax last year. We've done quite a lot of facilitations, the latest one being the Indian Fear Factor, which is currently showing in India, which was our second one. So we facilitate international production companies as well in South Africa, in Cape Town. We are passionate about people, and we are real and human, and and that's basically our goal.
Absolutely. I've been to your facilities in Cape Town. Beautiful. I think it was for when Tom Schwartz won, I think it was. That was incredible stuff. This week saw tribe swaps, failed blindsides, medical evacuations, exciting stuff. Tell us a little bit about this week, how interesting it was.
On the ground, it was quite a big thing. We were very worried about Shona specifically when she got evacuated. Luckily, the medical team was quick, and they were quick on the turnaround on that as well. Luckily, Shona wasn't hurt that badly, and that she could come back into the game. And then, the contestants just takes it to the next level. There's blindsides and backstabbing all around for the coming weeks, and the audience should just buckle up.
Well, it's exciting stuff coming up as well. The women seem to be forming a very strong bond. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's fascinating to see, specifically Meryl, Marion, and Steffi with the full package. It's fascinating to see how they have kind of grown into that strategic powerhouse, and even now with the split, and how they are navigating through the game. It really is quite amazing to see someone like a Toriso, who is a wonderful character and who is such a student of the game. It's fascinating to see how she's evolved from her previous season, when she was not social at all, and now she is super social, and she knows exactly what's going on in the game. So those relationships that they've created is incredible to see on the ground. But I must give credit to our editing team, who have been really amazing at putting together the stories, because you have to understand that we shoot basically 24 hours a day on 15 to 18 cameras. So there's a lot of stuff that, a lot of footage, and to tell those stories is incredibly difficult, and to because can't tell all the stories. You only have 46 minutes per episode. So it's a mammoth task, and I must give credit to our editing team, who have been incredible at putting this season together.
Yeah, so many unsung heroes as well. Teresa's got to be probably one of my favorites. I've had her in studio in Port Elizabeth. She's from Utenag, and I had her in studio, and she really is very cool. The prize money, 2 million rand, double of what it was. That's something to starve for, Roux.
Listen, 1 million rand is not life-changing, let's be honest. Overall, it'll pay your debt, it'll pay your car off, but nowadays it's not a lot of money, and we had to get to because the show is going out internationally, we had to up the prize money, and obviously upping the prize money, upping the ante as well. So it's life-changing, and whoever gets to that final two need to work hard for it, and to have them win the money is going to be tough, and that is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's tough stuff. Roux, I just want to say thank you very much for your time. You can catch Survivor SA Season 9 on DSTV's MNet's channel 101 at 7 p.m. every Monday to Thursday. It is heating up. Final words for the viewers out there? The season is only starting. I know we're almost halfway through, but hold on to your hats. It's going to get wild. Roux Botha, thank you very much. Survivor SA, return of the Outcasts every single Monday to Thursday. Let's see who outwits, outplays, and outlaws. Right, our next guest doesn't need any introduction here in the Eastern Cape. The Pink Fairy, you've seen him on TV, you've seen him all over the Eastern Cape doing incredible community work. Mike Webb, welcome to the RDR Show.
Robbie, thanks very much for having me.
How did it all come about? The Pink Fairy.
Yeah, Robbie, long story, but to try and bring it as short as possible. In 2011, I was doing my 13th Comrades, and I was getting a bit jaded with running it, and I decided to don a pair of pink wings, which I bought at the Pink Drive stand, and I ran with the pink wings on, and as I was running, I was getting so much support that I was getting called Butterfly and Pink Fairy and Superman. The weirdest things come out of people's mouths. It was quite entertaining. So I turned to a mate and I said, look, for every time I get called Pink Fairy, I'll donate a rand to my local old age home at the time. Got to the finish. A guy came up to me and said, what number did you get to? I said, I can barely remember my name right now. I can't remember how many times. I lost count. So he says, not a problem. Here's $100. I looked at this and I thought, well, this is quite awesome, that people are prepared to do this. So went home, gave, I think about 400 or 500 rand in those days to our old age home. And the next year I decided to ramp the Pink Fairy idea up a bit more. So I got a pink tutu and put a pink tutu on, still running my club colours. But then I did a bit of Facebook begging from our King community for our King SPCA. And that was my main drive, was for our King SPCA. And we raised, I think, around about 30,000 that first year, which was mind-blowing.
Wow. And
it then just progressed from there. And the costume got sillier, the costume got much pinker and much brighter. And it's just gone nuts. So it's been incredible. It's been a journey.
You've been very involved in SPCAs. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in the SPCAs and your community involvement projects.
Well, as I said, SPCA is our main beneficiary for the Pink Fairy, and the King SPCA do phenomenal work. They run a massive area around King Williamstown. It's not just King. We've got a huge area that they cover. So their expenses are extremely high. And as we know, they aren't funded at all by government. So they are always looking for money, for donations, for food, for petrol, vehicle expenses, you name it. My work, we sponsor them and help them out with their vehicle repairs and servicing. So we try and help them as much as we can. And then we've also expanded it onto the other SPCAs in the area as well. I've done various fundraisers for East London and Amahlati SPCA as well.
Well, it's inspirational stuff. Going into Comrades, I know that you're doing the Comrades this year. 25 days to go. How's prep going?
25 days to go. Butterflies are huge, I tell you. It's a very much a novice situation for everybody doing comrades this year. I am predicting that we are going to have the biggest amount of dropouts ever. I really feel that's going to happen because it's been 3 years since we've done comrades, and the body forgets. I've done 21 in a row. Alan Robb's done 42, and Alan's even thinking of not running, even though I'm really trying to twist his arm. But, you know, we've done a lot, and yet your body forgets the amount of pain that you have to go through. And so we've got to sort of do a complete mindset change. And it's also now changed that we're training it through winter, which we never have before. So it's been a total turnaround. Butterflies are very big this year. They really are. Training's done. I'm tweaking the speed now. But yeah, it's very real.
Well, 21 in a row is a massive feat as well. You've got a lot of other challenges that's happening. Where can we see the Pink Fairy over, let's say, the next 3 months?
Yeah, so for the August month is very much Pink Fairy month for King and for King SPCA. So I will be visiting a lot of local schools, and they do a Pink Fairy Day. I go there, I do a bit of a talk, inspirational talk, a bit about bullying, obviously about the SPCA and fundraising, and then they raise dog food, cat food, and monies which gets taken out to SPCA. We're doing that one. I'm doing a talk at the Beacon Bay Country Club after the 21K race on Women's Day, 9th of August. So if you're in the region, guys, pop around down to Beacon Bay Country Club, bring some dog food, cat food, a donation, and you'll go into lucky draws as well. So there's that one going on. And then on the 20th of August, we've got the launch of hopefully going to be the relaunch of our park run in King Williamstown. We've got a new route, and we're doing a 5K fundraising run there as well, also for a King SPCA. And then top it all off, we've also got these awesome buffs for, don't want to do that, these buffs. These buffs for sale as well. So there's a lot of ways you can contribute and help our SPCA, and we take it from there.
Well, thank you for the buffs. Where can people get these buffs?
Okay, so the buffs are available at Buffalo Toyota in King Williamstown.
Okay.
I will have them there all the time. And then just pop me a message on Facebook, and I will make sure you get them. We're selling them at 100 Rand, and every cent's going to our King SPCA.
You highlighted about Women's Month coming up. How important is the one lady in your life, Clara, who is just your rock, your stone, your everything?
Yeah, my special lady. Yeah, she's amazing. She's been there from day one, and she is just, as you say, she's my rock. She's there supporting me all the time. You know, we did a 60K training run last Sunday from Grahamstown to Port Alfred in the pouring rain. And she was there driving along, drive her 3Ks and go, where do you want me to go to? I'll stop over there. And then she'd get out the car and get the stuff ready. And at one point, at about 34Ks, I was hurting. And she says, what do you want? I said, a bed. And, you know, I just got this sarcastic look and like, yeah, I don't even think about it, you know. She's been amazing. You know, I recall one time on Comrades, in fact, which was quite special. I was chasing a Bull Rowan. And it was an up run, and I got through to Cato Ridge. It was basically about 30 Ks to go, and I was hurting big time. And as I got there, her and she was there with my son and a few others, and I actually started slowing down to stop. And she said, no, you don't stop, keep going, you're going to miss your cutoff. I'm like, okay, all right, off I went. And if I hadn't stopped, I actually wouldn't have made it. So yeah,
goodness me.
Yeah, she knows what's going on.
Yeah, well, she certainly is very instrumental in pushing you. I think she certainly gives you the grounding because you're a great character as well. If people want to contact you, they want to donate, they want to put something towards the Pink Fairy comrades, or whether it be dog food or whatever it is, how do they contact you?
Yeah, Robbie, the best is through Facebook. We have a Pink Fairy Multisport Adventure page. They can just look for that. They can also just look for me under Michael John Webb. Just look for the Pink Fairy on Facebook. You'll find it. Google it. It does come up. And that's going to be the easiest way. As I said, they can do bank transfers, and it all just goes straight into the King SPCA at the end of it all. So that is the main way of doing it. I will be in and around all over the place as well. And for King people, they know where I am at Toyota.
Well, one more thing, just to say thank you very much for the support. You've been very instrumental throughout the climb. You've given the RDR show incredible support. Thank you very much for that as well.
Yeah, Robbie, you're one of the hardest working people I've ever seen, and you just keep going, my man. You know, my wife, actually, the Pink Fairy thing the other day, I actually said to us, you know, how long can I keep prancing around in a Pink Fairy outfit? The hair's getting grayer, I'm getting older. And she turned to me and said, how old's Santa Claus? Yeah, so
Very
reach for the
true.
stars, but you're going places, and we'll give you every bit of support we can as well.
Well, that is the Pink Ferry. Guys, please get behind their initiatives. You can check them on Facebook. They've got the Comrades initiatives. They've got the SPCA initiatives. It's a bag of dog food, or it's a R1 for the Comrades. I just got to say, very incredible man here in the Eastern Cape. Very proud to know him. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Mike Webb, the Pink Ferry. It's a big ups to the Blitzbokke on their masterclass win, crushing Fiji 30 points to 7 to win the gold medal at the Commonwealth Games at Coventry Stadium in the UK. It was clinical performance by coach Neil Power's Chargers, who left their best performance of the weekend for the final to bag the gold medal. South Africa definitely on the top of the mountain at this stage when it comes to sport. Let's look at it. The Stormers are the USC champions. The Boks beat the Whales. Baby Boks are crowned champs. The Banyana lifting the WAFCON trophy. The Proteas beat England 2-1. Swimming gold for Commonwealth. And Blitzbokke take gold. And Eben's 100th and Bongi's 50th. Come on. Well done, South Africa. In Formula 1, Max Verstappen continued his dominance, and we now realize there is a serious brains behind who is the head of Red Bull's strategy team. Hannah Schmidt. No wonder he is doing so well. Damn, girl. Watch this space on the RDR Show. We will be doing live commentary starting on the 13th of August 2022 for people who don't have DSTV. We will do live pre-game analysis, halftime and post-match analysis with former Springbok legend Russell Bennett and most capped border rugby player Wayne Vaya. We love animals on the RDR Show, and they can also show us so much character and charisma. This cat is showing that patience is a virtue and loves the titty milk. And finally, I'm a big fan of Queen, and so is this beaver, who obviously knew the Boks were playing against the All Blacks. All right. We want to see your funny TikToks and videos. Please email them to videos@therdrshow.com. We are providing talented and aspiring artists to get opportunities to use the RDR platform to get exposure. This lady started doing music when she was only 6 years old. Her career was paused in 2010 after a car accident, and it took 11 years to recover. They never said it would be easy, but it will be worthwhile. Ladies and gentlemen, Angie Grobelaar with Adele's Hello.
Hi, my name is Angie, and the song I will be singing for you is Hello from Adele, and I just want to thank RDR for the opportunity they have given me. I hope you enjoy this.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say time is supposed to heal ya, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about who we used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call you, never
the end of the RDR Show, episode 2 done and dusted. I'm your host, Robbie Durant, and thank you to all our guests who contributed to the show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share on YouTube and Facebook. Follow on Instagram and TikTok, all under the RDR Show. Catch you next week. It's a cheerio from me.
The RDR Show with Robbie Durant.